Hello, folks. Tonight we're going to be talking about muscle types, as it's clearly dark here. So let's go on over to our PowerPoint. So, 3 types of muscle tissue: smooth muscle, skeletal muscle, and cardiac muscle. You've probably discussed these before at some point during your career. So muscle tissue is specialized for contraction and is important for movement, maintenance of posture, and production of heat. Vertebrate muscle tissues are classified according to the physical appearance of the cells, as well as the actions of, as well as how the actions of the fibers are controlled. Vertebrate muscle tissue types include skeletal muscle, smooth muscle, and cardiac muscle. So going back to this, they're classified according to physical appearance. Okay, if we look at these examples, so just right off the bat, they all look different. In one of the previous videos, I showed some smooth muscle at low resolution in one of the intestinal tissue slides. Anyways, so our skeletal muscle over here, that's the one that's going to differ from our smooth muscle and the cardiac muscle in regards of how it is controlled. That is because skeletal muscles are voluntary. So, you have to think, use your mind to control, do all the movements with your hands and your feet and steer around, do human stuff, right? And we choose to do that. And you have to think about how to do that, the things that you do, like drive a car and whatnot. Maybe that's not the best example considering where I'm going next. Anyways, you have to you learn how to make certain movements, like walking even. That being said, you don't have to be taught to make your heart beat, you don't have to remember to pump blood. You don't have to think about digesting that burger and fries you just plowed through at Mickey D's, right? That's because these smooth muscle and cardiac muscle are involuntary. You never have to remember and think about them. That's why these ones shut down at night when you go to sleep, and these ones keep on going. All right. So, first one we're going to be talking about here is smooth muscle. So let me go ahead and pop that one on. Let's look at our, we have an old slide here that's going to look a little bit more like this image. Let's check it out real quick. Actually, all right. Sorry for changing graphics for here, telling scary stories about biology now. Anyways, so we're talking about smooth muscle. So here's a picture of our older specimens of that. Picture of the older specimen of skeletal muscle, and a picture of our older specimen of cardiac muscle. Now, before I get ahead of myself, smooth muscle, unlike skeletal muscle, has no striations, so it appears smooth. We'll see what I mean in a second when I say striations. So this is what I'm talking about when I say striations, this sort of grainy lines that you see going across the cells. So the skeletal muscle fibers are elongated, have multiple nuclei, and have visible striations. So multiple nuclei, that's one of the weird things about them. Most of your cells aren't going to be doing that. And again, they have striations, so that's that banding pattern. Striations just means lines. And the last one is going to be cardiac muscle. Cardiac muscle means heart, so only found in the heart, has striations similar to that of skeletal muscle. However, those muscle fibers are branching and connected by things called intercalating discs. In this picture, you can see them there, there, there. Those are your intercalating discs. These are your nuclei. You see them branching, which is in stark contrast to our skeletal muscle. So let's go ahead and look at our examples of these three types on our real life example. So first one that I have lined up for us here. For your viewing pleasure is some smooth muscle. Let me find a good stopping place. Oh man. Yeah, there's a reason why we're moving away from these slides. Anyways, so here is your smooth muscle. You can see it does not display any sort of striations like your cardiac or skeletal muscle. Not a lot of branching going on right here. If I scroll over, you can see, again, similar to what I showed in one of the previous videos, here are the insides of an intestine. See that simple columnar epithelium right there? Oh yeah. Which means that we are in the gut. So over here, lining it, is our skeletal muscle. On to the next. All right. So this, hold on. Looking for a good section of this one. All right, looks like it's any of it. So here is our cardiac muscle. You see it is branching. It's a little bit hard to see in this photo, but you can see it is displaying these striations. So right here, these little lines across it, you can see that it's fibrous. You can see they aren't all aligned very closely together. So this is cardiac muscle right here. This is kind of embarrassing. This slide was from some tissue that included some fat. So what you're seeing here is some adipose tissue. And then as we scroll around, you can see over here, we've also got some more tissue that is not skeletal muscle, not the target tissue, but over here, that's about the best that we have. It's like is going to be right here. This is the best hunk of tissue we have for that one. So here is our skeletal muscle tissue. You can see lots of striations all over here. In fact, they go this way and they go that way. You can see there are multiple nuclei all over these cells, so multinucleated, and it is really unbranching. You don't see these really merging or splitting into two. So this is a typical image of your skeletal muscle. Now, we have some new slides here to check out. So let's go back to our PowerPoint real quick. I've just recently updated it to reflect these changes. Whoops, go back real quick. So they're going to be stained a little bit differently over here. So starting at the top right, we have smooth muscle, cardiac muscle, and then skeletal muscle. Let's go ahead and check those out. So right here, let's go back to the microscope real quick. Let's go ahead and zoom in some more. So here is your cardiac muscle, very characteristic. You can see it's got lots of lines. Unfortunately, I can't see any intercalating discs in this specimen. There's some. So right there, there's an intercalating disc. There's an intercalating disc. There's one. There's one. There's one. So they're scattered throughout. You can notice it's branching, very fibrous. All right. So that is our cardiac muscle. Let's go ahead and go over, check out one of our other types of muscle tissues. So let me pick a good spot on this hunk of junk. Yeah, there's a good looking spot. So this is our skeletal muscle. You can see those very strongly defined striations. So there's a cell, there's a cell, there's a cell. And they aren't really branching. I mean, I know it's a little bit hard to tell in this image, but for the most part, they are all running parallel to one another. And so that's the characteristic that you're looking for in this one. In addition to those very strongly pronounced striations like that. Also, no intercalating discs like in our cardiac muscle. So then as we scroll over, again, we get into our columnar, simple columnar epithelium, pardon me. And then over on the outside edge of that, we get into our smooth muscles. So, oops, went a little bit far. Yeah, that's a pretty good section right there. So this is our smooth muscle. See no striations, no branching. It does not appear to be multinucleated the way that our skeletal muscle does, where you see large bands with multiple nuclei embedded in them. Appears to be one per strand, right? If we look at this. So this is our smooth muscle. No striations, no branches. All right. So next up, in the next video, we're going to be talking about neural tissue. So join us then, and until that next time, stay safe and have a wonderful day.